a typical night at the shelter starts with the volunteers entering here or next door at the shrine. A typical night, we will have volunteers who are doing the meal. We'll have volunteers who are going to spend the night. So everyone arrives at 6. The cleanup crew, which is a small group of men from the shelter guests, come in at 6 as well to help with the setup, because the mats have to be put up, tables and chairs have to be set up, the tables have to be set. The kitchen we have to get things going in there, get the food heated up, ice, water, just all the things that go into getting a meal on the table in your own home. Basically, because this is home to 65 men here and 30 next door at the shrine. The volunteers get here, we get all that set up. As soon as things are pretty much in place, then the street crew, there's 7 of us. I do every Sunday night. We each have one night of the week. And we're the people at the door who are letting the men in. So we provide somewhat of a consistent nature to the volunteers in that we're here consistently once a week. And the men know us very well. We know the men very well. And so if there are any problems, we're going to keep them outside these doors. So the men come up, they find their mat, and just like we're sort of territorial about what desk we sit at and what pew we sit in and what our place is at the table, so are they. So they usually go to the same mat every night, and they get their stuff settled and take a seat at the table. Once we have everybody in, which has to be by 7:15, the volunteers serve dinner. Generally, we like to have the men seated at the tables and then we serve them. Lots of times there's kids here who enjoy doing that as well. Once the men are all seated and served, we encourage the volunteers to eat with the men as well. I think having a meal together is a very powerful thing. And if I sit down across from you and have a conversation over a meal, my idea of who the homeless are is forever changed, because now I have a face to put with that, and that's something powerful for the volunteers, and I think it's powerful for the men as well, because they spend their day walking the streets where people just cross the street to avoid them. They have very little positive interaction with people, and so when they get here, there's an unconditional acceptance, and that is powerful for them as well. After dinner, we clean up. The cleanup crew helps with that. The guests are encouraged to clean up after themselves as well. The volunteers pitch in. Tables are cleared. Chairs are put up. Tables folded. The rest of the mats are put out on the floor. The shower room is opened. We encourage the guests to take advantage of our shower facilities. You never want to have that talk with Katie about taking a shower. That goes on until pretty much everybody's been able to take a shower. We do have a separate kind of little alcove area where we have a TV, and the men can watch television if they like. About 11 o'clock we turn that off because men need to get to bed, and lights on is early in the morning. Volunteers, somebody has to be up at all times, so generally, depending on how many volunteers there are, they work it out in shifts, so someone's awake just to help someone if they can't find their way after going to the bathroom, or if they need something during the night, aspirin or whatever. In the morning, we make coffee. We don't serve breakfast, but we have a combination breakfast bag, lunch bag that all of the men are given as they leave in the morning. So they can grab a cup of coffee, they get their breakfast bag, lunch bag. We get everybody out. The cleanup crew stays behind. Bathrooms are cleaned. shower rooms clean, floors are swept and mopped. And generally the volunteers are done and out of here by between 6 and 6:30. And everything's put away because the space in both churches is used for other things during the day. So we have to kind of, make the shelter disappear for the daytime activities. And then we put it all together again the next night. And that's a typical night role for our guests.
Thank you, Katie. Can you tell us a bit about why you're dressed like this tonight?
Yes. Well, a combination of things. I teach PE, so I often dress like this. But tonight is Sunday night, and we have a yoga class on Sunday nights from 5 to 6. And I was the yoga instructor tonight, but I have 3 other instructors who come down, and we kind of rotate, taking turns teaching. So the guys love it. We generally have between 12 and 20 guys who participate, and the ones who come really enjoy it. On Wednesday nights, we also, from 5 to 6, have a little basketball league going on. It's a little more intense than yoga from what I saw the other night, but the guys who participate in that really enjoy it. In addition to that, we have a choir, the Atlanta Homeward Men's Choir, made up of guests of Central Night Shelter that just started this year, and they just had their first extremely successful concert. If you missed it, I'm so sorry because it was fantastic. And that was on the 22nd. We will have another concert in the spring. Wednesday nights we also have a foot clinic and medical clinic staffed with volunteer doctors and nurses and lay people who do foot care. Once a month we have volunteer lawyers who come to help with any kind of civil legal problems or give advice. So we provide a variety of services here. It's not just a place to hang your hat for the night.
So what would you say, based on these activities, and I did see the video on Atlanta Homeward Choir, and it was wonderful. There are many videos out there. But what would you say that does for the guest in terms of self-sufficiency or growth?
I think for all of these activities, that if you can put into place activities that involve goal setting and showing up, following through on a commitment, that if you can put these activities into place where they participate in these activities, then these kinds of things can translate over into other aspects of their life, for finding a job, putting together a resume, overcoming whatever problems may have put them on the street in the first place, whether it be, addiction or anger or whatever it may be, that they can set goals and work on those problems the same way that they set goals and follow through in these other activities. So I think it's very helpful to them to have some sort of structure built into their lives where they have to show up and be there on time and follow through. So that's the reason we've encouraged those kind of activities at the shelter.
Great. Thank you very much for your time.